Midnight. Mr. Bean suddenly tagged everyone in our dorm group chat. Everyone return to your rooms immediately. Lock your doors. The hallway electrical system is damaged. Maintenance is underway. I froze, fixing the electricity. So why did we need to lock our doors? And besides, our room still had power. Before I could make sense of it, a private message from my best friend popped up. Don't believe it. The psycho is inside the dorm, killing people. Do not open the door. My chest tightened. From the top bunk bin, our dorm leader sat up abruptly. Locked the door. Now, my boyfriend said a killer got into the building. Panic hit me instantly. Ben never joked like that. I rushed to the door, but just as my hand touched the lock, I stopped. Tanoyet wasn't back yet. Should I wait for her? There were 4 of us in the room. Ben, another girl who had gone home, me, and Tanoyet. She had just gone downstairs to grab her laundry. I hesitated. Lock it first. Ben said firmly, we'll open it when she gets back. The moment I turned the lock, my hands were shaking. I pressed myself against the door, ready to open it the second Noyet returned. At the same time, Ben texted in our group chat, Noyet, where are you? Forget the clothes. Come back now. It's dangerous outside. Noyet replied quickly, I'm fine. I got my clothes. I'm at the hallway corner. I saw 2 men with backpacks holding wrenches. Probably maintenance. I also heard about the killer. I'm kind of scared. Luckily, they didn't see me. I'm going to take the other staircase. Wait, I think I just saw their faces. The message stopped mid-sentence. Then, footsteps, rapid, closing in from the exact direction she mentioned. Ben and I looked at each other. Pure fear. If they were really maintenance workers, why would they chase her? We didn't dare send another message. The notification sound might expose her location. Ben steadied herself first. I'll message the dorm supervisor. 2 minutes later, she let out a breath. She said, don't worry. The killer thing is just a rumor. They're really fixing the electricity. I wasn't convinced. Right then, Noyet texted again. That scared me. They really are maintenance workers. They chased me because I was heading into a dangerous area. I'm coming back now. Between the supervisor and Noyet both saying the same thing, I finally relaxed a little. Outside, footsteps approached again, this time calm. Then, knock, knock. But after everything that just happened, I checked the peephole first. It was to Noyet. No mistake. I reached for the lock. A scream, a blood-curdling, distant scream, from downstairs, loud enough to reach the 6th floor. The class group chat exploded. What was that? Weren't they just electricians? What was that scream just now? Don't tell me there's actually a killer in the dorm. Is anyone near the 1st or 2nd floor? I'm on the 1st floor, but I'm too scared to go out. Besides the scream, I swear I heard something like a blade cutting. Oh my God, this is terrifying. Call the police. Right then, the group admin switched on mute for everyone. The chaotic chat fell completely silent. The dorm supervisor sent a new message. Don't panic. The rumor is true. There is a killer inside the dorm. I lied earlier to prevent panic. The police have been called. Lock your doors. Do not open them for anyone. Stay calm. To keep everyone calm, the class group will be locked tonight. No messages allowed. My hand froze midair. The knocking outside became more urgent, and suddenly, something felt wrong. The electricity wasn't broken, so those maintenance workers, who were they? Which meant the person outside, the person texting, might not be Noyet at all. I checked the peephole again. That's when I noticed it. The clothes were Noyet's, but not the ones she wore when she left. And the figure, too broad, too tall, even slightly crouched, trying to mimic her height. That's not her. At that exact moment, he looked up, mask on, stood fully upright, about 1.8 meters tall, stared straight into the peephole, and slowly raised his middle finger, then walked away. My mind went completely blank. When I told Ben what I saw, she went quiet for a moment, then said, but we never heard Noyet scream. If she was attacked, there's no way she'd stay completely silent. She took a deep breath. If someone is wearing her clothes, using her account, there's only one possibility. Noyet betrayed us. Or worse, she's working with a killer. I didn't want to believe it, but the logic made sense. And then, my phone buzzed again. A message from a different account. To Xiao Noyet, her alt account. Only I knew about it. I dropped my main phone and clothes while running. I lost them, but I escaped. Be careful of Ben, because the person I saw was Ben's boyfriend. I've managed to reach room 603 next door. I'll head over to 603 in a bit. You should find a chance to come over too. I'll open the door for you. As I read those messages on the screen, a chill crept across my scalp. Noyet says Ben is suspicious. Ben says Noyet is suspicious. And now, I can't tell who's lying. If I really ran over to room 603, there might be someone waiting in the hallway. Ben seemed to notice something was off about me. She gave me a gentle smile. Don't be scared. Just lock the door and wait for the police. People like that will get what's coming to them. I looked at her calm, steady face. The balance in my mind slowly started tipping toward her. She was the oldest in our room, a year older than the rest of us. She always took care of us like we were her own little sisters. Always thoughtful, always attentive. Someone like her, how could she possibly be working with a psychopath? To Noyette wasn't a bad person either. Maybe she was being threatened, or maybe she lost her phone, and someone was using a fake account to mislead me. Maybe I was just overthinking everything. My expression gradually relaxed. I forced a small smile at Ben. Yeah, people like that will definitely be punished. But for some reason, the moment I said that, something about Ben's face felt off. The strange feeling vanished in an instant. Maybe I was overthinking again. Right then, my phone buzzed. The dorm supervisor had created a new Zalo group. Almost everyone in the building was added, only a few missing, probably overlooked. As soon as the group was set up, she tagged everyone. I've been restrained. All the previous messages were forced. They made me lie that the school had already called the police. But the truth is, no one has called them yet. I can't talk for long, or they'll notice. You need to call the police now. And one more thing. Anyone in this building who isn't in this group, there's something wrong with them. Be careful. After a few seconds, the entire group fell into a strange silence. No one was muted, but no one said a word. It felt like everyone was trying to process what they'd just read. The supervisor was being controlled. From the moment those lunatics broke into the dorm, no one had called the police. Somewhere in this building, someone was secretly working with them. My heart nearly stopped. I immediately opened the member list, hands trembling as I searched for Ben's Zalo name. No results found. I froze. The fear I felt now was completely different from before. Before, I knew there was a killer in the building, but at least there was still a door between us. Now, Ben was right here in the room with me. Thinking back, the masked man outside earlier, even with his face covered, his height, his presence, his eyes, he looked way too much like Ben's boyfriend. Try it. I tried to control my expression, not let Ben notice anything, but I couldn't. I was just an ordinary college student. Facing something like this, there was no way I could stay calm. If this kept going, she would definitely notice something was wrong with me. And then, the lights went out. The entire dorm lost power. Right after that, my phone lost signal. No internet, no connection. The darkness brought fear, but strangely, it also helped me calm down a little. At least, Ben couldn't clearly see how pale my face had gone. But in the next second, a deeper sense of despair washed over me. This meant there was no way to call the police anymore. From the moment the supervisor created the new group, to the power and signal being cut, it hadn't even been a minute. No one had time to call for help. No one was coming to save us. We were like sheep locked in a pen, waiting to be slaughtered, and right beside me was someone holding a knife. It must be those lunatics. Don't be scared. The police have already been called. We'll be safe soon. As she spoke, Ben took out a fruit knife. She calmly started peeling an apple. When she finished, she cut a slice and held it out to me. Here, eat something. Come here. Under the faint moonlight in the dark room, I saw Ben smile. Warm, but beneath that warmth, there was a trace of cruelty. I already knew who she really was. My mind started racing faster than ever before. If I hadn't known she was one of them, I probably would have obediently walked over and eaten that slice of apple. But now that I knew, that apple was danger. The dorm room wasn't big. I didn't think I could make it to the door and escape before she caught me. All these thoughts flashed through my mind in an instant. In the end, I walked up to her, took the slice of apple, put it in my mouth. Maybe I was too tense. I couldn't taste anything at all. To lower her guard, I played along. Thanks, Ben. We'll get through this. After saying that, I sat back down in my chair, hidden by the darkness. My hand quietly felt around the desk, searching for something, anything I could use against her, but there was nothing sharp. Regret crept in. I should have been dieting these past few months. I barely lost any weight, and just ended up weaker. Ben suddenly laughed. Before the power went out, you were staring at your phone for a long time. Did you get some other message? Let me see your phone. I'll help you figure it out. My heart tightened. The supervisor's message. To Noyette's messages. I hadn't deleted them yet, but Ben's hand was already reaching out. I had no reason to refuse. If I didn't hand it over, she'd know I had figured everything out. Suppressing the trembling in my fingers, I slowly handed over the phone. At the same time, I made a decision. The moment she took it, I would run straight for the door, just as her fingers were about to touch the phone. A scream, a girl's scream, right outside, on our floor. Sharp, close, terrifying. Both of us froze. I immediately pulled my phone back and threw my arms around her. Ben, I'm scared. My body trembled. Perfect excuse. The fear could be blamed on the scream. Ben hesitated. Then, slowly, she patted my back, her voice soft again. Don't be scared. I'm here. Even if the killer comes, I'll protect you. Flawless. Not a single crack in her tone. If not for those messages, I would have believed her completely. But then, my eyes drifted toward the window, and I froze. The latch was open. I remembered clearly it had been locked before. There were only two people in the room, me and her, which meant, while I was guarding the door earlier, she opened the window. There were no bars. From the upper floors, a man could easily climb down, and right now, the killer was above us. At any moment, he could drop down, right into our room. That was the moment I truly understood. I wasn't trapped with one killer. I was trapped between two. Despair crept in. For the first time, I seriously considered fighting her head-on. I had avoided it until now. One reason was my strength. I'd been dieting weaker than usual. The other was because I knew Ben's past. She had told us before. Back in high school, she used to run with a gang, got into fights all the time, only changed later. I knew I wasn't her match. But now, there was no way out. Under the pale moonlight, my eyes locked onto the fruit knife in her hand. I was ready to strike first. Then suddenly, footsteps in the hallway. Fast, urgent, followed by frantic knocking. Someone was banging on room 603. The door opened. Someone rushed inside. 603 was just 2 doors away from us. And then, silence. No struggle. No screaming. Which meant it wasn't a killer. Combined with Noyet's earlier message, I immediately realized the person who just made it in was to Noyet. I'll check, I said, using the noise as an excuse. I naturally moved toward the door. Ben seemed like she wanted to stop me, but I hadn't shown anything suspicious so far. And with the killer possibly above us, she didn't want to risk forcing me right now. Be careful, she said. I glanced through the peephole. Empty hallway. No one there. I turned back. Nothing. It's quiet. For now, we're safe. The moment I finished speaking, I saw it. A shadow, climbing down from above, right outside our window. Silent, smooth. He moved with terrifying precision. His back was to the moonlight, so I couldn't see his face clearly. But I could make out the mask. Tall, around 1.8 meters. Both hands gripping the wall as he climbed down. Dark stains covered his clothes. Blood. Then, his feet landed on the edge of our window, and with one hand, he raised his middle finger at me. I was standing with my back against the door, facing the window. Ben was facing me, which meant her back was to the window. She had no idea. In that split second, I made my move. From my pocket, I pulled out a small flashlight, the kind I bought from a live stream sale. Ridiculously bright. I turned it on. Blinding light exploded into the darkness. It hit both of them, Ben and the masked man. They both squinted, momentarily stunned. Just now, in the middle of the panic, I couldn't find anything on the desk to use as a weapon. The only thing I managed to grab was this flashlight. It's one of those ultra bright ones I bought from a live stream sale. Flip it on, and it lights up a whole area instantly. I only bought it because it seemed like a good deal at the time. Didn't expect it to actually come in handy today. Turns out, it really was worth it. That was my chance. I threw open the door and ran. Behind me, the masked man cursed. Something flew toward me and hit my head. Sharp pain, but not enough to stop me. I kept running, straight toward room 603. I pounded on the door like a maniac, not caring about anything else. The sound echoed through the entire hallway. Everyone could probably hear me. I knew I had just exposed my position. If 603 didn't open, I was dead. Behind me, footsteps, fast, closing in. I could hear both of them now. The man and Ben. I even caught a glimpse. The masked man bursting out of my room, a bloodied knife in his hand. Then, at the very last second, the door opened. Before I could even step in, a hand grabbed my wrist and yanked me inside. It was Noyet. She pulled me in with all her strength. Others slammed the door shut immediately. I collapsed to the floor, gasping. My heart felt like it was about to explode. There were 6 girls in the room now, 4 from 603, Noyet, and me. Noyet hugged me tightly, tried to calm me down. Someone handed me water. Someone helped me onto a chair. It took a long time before I could finally breathe normally again. I never imagined Ben and Tran were this kind of people. After I calmed down, I told them everything, every detail, including the masked man, the one outside the door earlier, wearing Noyet's clothes, and the one who climbed down just now. Same person, no doubt about it. That was Tran. Noyet frowned. Been mentioned before in high school. Tran used to hang out with bad crowds. Maybe that's who he really is. Another girl spoke up. I went to the same high school as him. He was famous, a top student. In the mock college entrance exams, he scored over 700. Number 1 in the city. Everyone thought he'd go to Tsinghua or Peking University, but somehow he ended up here. That made it worse. A killer, who was also a genius. far more dangerous. But somehow, after talking with the others, my fear eased slightly. At least now, I wasn't alone. Then suddenly, Noyet looked at my hand. What are you holding? You ran for your life and still grabbed that. I froze. Only then did I realize I was still clutching something. A small plastic ball, about the size of my palm, with tiny holes in it. I thought back and rubbed my head. When Tran Triad climbed in, he threw it at me. Luckily, it wasn't heavy. And right then, buzzing, a crackling sound came from inside it. The air had just calmed when it suddenly snapped tight again. Then, from outside, came Ben's familiar voice. When, open the door. My boyfriend, Tran Triad, is trying to kill me. I barely managed to escape. You left me behind earlier. I don't blame you. Just open the door. I'll die if you don't. My real name is Trent Nguyen. Everyone calls me Nguyen. Hearing her call me so intimately, just like before, my heart sank. But the hesitation only lasted a moment. Based on everything I knew, there was a 99% chance Ben was the enemy. I wasn't some saint who would gamble my life on the remaining 1%. When I looked up, the other girls in the room were all watching me warily. Tanoyet shook her head slightly, afraid I might give in and open the door. I looked at them and smiled. Tran Triad is her boyfriend. In that situation, if he really wanted to kill her, there's no way she could have escaped. More importantly, you were the ones who opened the door and saved me. I'm not going to hurt you. Room 603 had opened their door for me at my most desperate moment, letting me feel a trace of warmth in this terrifying night. Outside, Ben couldn't hear what I was saying. She kept pounding on the door, still begging me to believe her. Suddenly, the plastic sphere in my hand began to buzz. Then, a man's voice, don't open the door. If Ben gets in, he'll kill all of you. My heart nearly stopped. This wasn't a toy. It was a mini radio. And that voice, we all recognized it instantly. Tran Triad. No one spoke. No one moved. Even Noyet and I, who had just been chased by him, couldn't mistake that voice. Noyet mouthed silently to the others. It's him. Confusion. Shock. Disbelief. Wasn't he the killer? We had just nearly died because of him. So why? Was he warning us? For a moment, a thought flashed through my mind. What if Tran Triad is an insider? But I immediately rejected it. If he were really on our side, he had countless chances to call the police. There was no reason to let things spiral into this. People had already died. Noyet's expression darkened. He knows Ben can't trick us into opening the door anymore, she said. So now he's trying to gain our trust. Everyone fell silent. No one had an answer. But one decision was unanimous. We would not open the door for Ben. Outside, the knocking slowly weakened, then stopped. A sigh. I don't blame you. Ben's voice came from the other side. After all, the killer is my boyfriend. My situation is complicated. You're right to be cautious. Protect yourselves. I'll protect myself too. If I die, you'll regret it. Then, footsteps. Fading away, she had left, but her last words lingered in my chest. What if she really is telling the truth? If I were alone, would I have opened the door? Uneasy, I leaned toward the peephole again. The hallway was pitch black after the blackout. Only the faint green glow of emergency lights remained, just enough to cast shadows. And in that dim light, I noticed something. A shadow, right outside the door. Someone was standing there, silently, watching. I told the others, then kept my eye glued to the people, even with the door between us. Knowing someone was right there, waiting, was unbearable. 5 minutes passed. It felt like 5 hours. My heartbeat was so loud, I could hear it in my ears. Then, an eye pressed directly against the peephole. I screamed. The person outside stepped back. And this time, I saw clearly. It was Ben. She hadn't left. She had been standing there the whole time, watching us. But now, she wasn't pretending anymore. Her face twisted into a strange smile under the dim green light. It looked inhuman. You're so heartless, she said softly. Leaving me out here like this. We have plenty of time. Let's play slowly. No one is getting out. You already know what I am. So, you all have to die. The 6 of us looked at each other. This fear was worse than before. She was right. We knew her secret. She would never let us live. A girl in the room spoke up, her voice trembling. We've always been close. You've always taken care of us. We really treated you like a sister. Why are you doing this? Another added, if you're in trouble, just tell us. We can help you. Outside, laughter exploded. Ben laughed so hard her voice shook. It was the first time I had ever heard her like this. Then, bang, she kicked the door violently. It didn't budge, just a release of rage. Why, she said, because it's fun. Pretending to be your big sister every day. So boring. Watching people panic. Watching them despair. That's what's fun. In high school, I loved bullying people, slapping them until they bled. locking them in bathrooms and taking pictures. I even broke someone's fingers. Oh, and it was a girl. She couldn't take it anymore. So she jumped off a building. Pathetic. My entire worldview shattered. Some people were just born monsters. But strangely, I wasn't as afraid anymore. I spoke through the door. Ben, you once said, bad people always get punished. She laughed again. As long as all of you die, no one will know I'm the bad one. My boyfriend is a genius. Even if the police come, I'll just be a victim. Or, why don't you open the door? Punish me yourselves. There are 6 of you. Are you really afraid of just one me? I replied coldly, I won't open the door. But when the police come, I'll personally point you out as an accomplice to murder. Silence. Then, her voice dropped. Cold, dark. Xian, I don't just want you dead. I want you to die painfully. Footsteps. She left. Through the peephole, I saw a man with a knife following right behind her, so she wasn't alone. They had people waiting outside. Our door was sturdy, but not unbreakable. If they used tools, they could get in. It would just take time. And time was exactly what they were buying. We didn't hear them breaking doors, but from time to time, screams echoed from other rooms. No one had called the police. The night felt endless. Inside room 603, none of us relaxed. Even with the door locked, everyone held something as a weapon. Chairs, broom handles, metal hangers, spray cans. Then, another knock. Noyet checked the people. A girl from the next class. Outside, the girl was trembling. Please open the door. They're coming. We hesitated. I knew her. Not close, but she didn't seem like a bad person. If she joined us, there would be 7 of us. Better odds. And truthfully, none of us could just watch someone die. Just as someone stepped forward, the radio crackled again. Tran Triad's voice. Don't open the door. The girl outside the door was named Lituet. The girl who had been about to open the door froze, her face filled with shock. Even though we didn't completely trust Tran Triad, none of us dared to gamble with our lives. In the end, we voted 4 against, 2 in favor. We didn't open. The girl left, ran to the next room, kept knocking. Then, the door opened, and a scream followed. She was one of them. We stared at each other, and for the first time, a terrifying realization hit all of us. Tran Triad was protecting us. After a brief discussion, I gathered my courage and pressed the talk button on the radio. Tran Triad, if you're really on our side, please call the police. If there's anything we can do to help, just tell us. Silence. No reply. It was disappointing, but not surprising. We meant nothing to him. He had no reason to answer. About half an hour later, knock. Another girl, crying, calling out a name from our room. Xian Loi. Help me? My room caught fire. I barely escaped. Please open the door. They're coming. Xian Loi froze. Her voice shook. We grew up together. No one stopped her, even in fear. None of us wanted to be the one who refused to save someone. Then, the radio crackled again. This time, only 4 words. Don't open the door. Xian Loi's hand, resting on the lock, went stiff. In the end, she collapsed to her knees. I'm sorry. I can't risk everyone's lives. Outside, the girl left, ran to another room. A door opened, and then a scream. We all went to just a moment before. That could have been it. Xian Loi kept shaking her head. That's impossible. Since coming to college, almost no one knows we're close. I stared at the radio in my hand. Tran Triad was smarter than all of us. He must have gathered information on everyone long ago. That's how he manipulated people. Without ever needing to break down doors. We weren't stupid. He was just far smarter. And he knew exactly how to exploit human kindness. At that point, the room fell silent again, because only one question remained. Why was he saving us? More knocks followed, again and again. Each time, the radio warned us, don't open. And each time, we narrowly avoided death. Slowly, we began to trust him. Then, another knock. This time, a girl none of us recognized. After everything that had happened, no one moved. No hesitation. No discussion. We had already decided we would not open. Right then, the radio crackled again. Perfect timing. 2 words. Open the door. Those 2 words hit us like a stone dropping into still water. If he wanted us dead, he wouldn't have warned us so many times before. Maybe this time, he wasn't lying. But he was still Ben's boyfriend. What if all those warnings were just to lower our guard? And if we kept refusing? Were we really okay with letting someone die? We voted again. 3 to open, 3 to not. A tie. In the end, we chose to save her. But this time, we were ready. One person opened the door. The other 5 stood behind her, weapons in hand. Heartbeats thundered in our ears. The door opened. We pulled the girl inside and slammed it shut. Nothing happened. For the first time, his instruction had led to a safe outcome. The girl collapsed, crying, thank you, but no one responded. The one we should thank was Tran Triad, and the one who created this nightmare was also him. The most terrifying thing was, we were starting to trust him completely. Time dragged on. The screams outside grew fewer. No more doors were opening. Then, in the distance, sirens, police sirens, hope, finally broke through the darkness. Someone had called them. Maybe Tran Triad. We had just begun to relax. When suddenly, bang, 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 violent pounding on the door. Ben, you all know who I am now. You have to die. If you don't open this door, when I break it down, I'll make you wish you were dead. Open it. The sirens gave us courage. Noyet shouted back, give it up, Ben. We're not opening. We'll tell the police everything. You won't escape. Silence. Then, her voice turned cold. A man stepped forward beside her, around 1.7 meters away. He hit the door several times. No effect. Then, he pulled out a thin saw and started cutting the lock. This was just a dorm door, not built to withstand that. We rushed to barricade it. Chairs, cabinets, anything we could move. We all understood. Just hold on a little longer. The police were coming. All 7 of us focused on the door. Then, the radio crackled again, after a long silence. It spoke. Watch the window. We all turned. Too late. A figure was already climbing up from below, holding something sharp. Crash! The window shattered. 3 girls closest to grab mops and sticks, fighting him off. The window was narrow. For a moment, he couldn't get in. Someone outside the door was sawing through the lock. At the window, someone was trying to break in. We were under attack from both sides. The girls holding the door braced themselves, struggling to keep it shut. The one outside the window roared, do you want to die? He grabbed a chair leg, yanked. 1 girl fell. He was about to climb in. Despair hit all of us. Then, bang, a gunshot. His body jerked. He lost his grip and fell from the 6th floor. Below, a voice shouted, stop immediately. You're surrounded. Police. Footsteps thundered up the stairs. The man outside our door stopped sawing, turned to run. Don't stop. Ben screamed. Killed him first. They know who I am. Shut up, he snapped. I'm not dying with you. He ran. Only Ben remained, completely unhinged. She kept sawing the lock, screaming, don't stop. You all have to die. We held our breath. Then, a man appeared in the hallway, through the crack. I saw Ben's face light up in madness. Gigi, you're here. Break the door. Kill them all. As long as they die, no one will know. Then, her voice stopped. Thud. Something heavy hit the door. Hard enough to shake the cabinet behind it. Her voice. Twisted. Pain. Shock. Disbelief. All 7 of us stood rooted to the spot. No one dared breathe any louder than a whisper. Out in the hallway, the only sound left was something thick and viscous dripping onto the floor. Drip, drip, each drop echoing with chilling clarity in the dead silence. A voice came from outside. Cold. Emotionless. Tran Triad. You're a monster who kills people. So, tonight, you die like one. Help me. Ben whispered her last words. Tran Triad spoke again. Do you remember Chin Xiao Xiao? The girl you bullied in high school? She jumped off a building. She was my sister. Silence. Everyone who dies tonight deserved it. I came to this school just for revenge. Ben was dead, eyes wide open, still not believing. Karma existed. Through the crack, I saw Tran Triad's face, covered in blood. Police footsteps rushed closer. Criminals were being subdued. He looked at the people. At us. No one's getting hurt anymore, he said. You're safe. We heard everything. Everything between him and Ben. He had saved us. More than once. I turned to the others. They nodded. We opened the door. Noyet whispered, come inside. You might still have a chance to escape. He shook his head. She deserved to die. They all did. But now, I deserve to die too. Stop right there. Police voices echoed from the hallway. In that instant, Tran Triad suddenly raised a saw and rushed toward us. Bang, bang, 2 gunshots. He collapsed, blood spreading beneath him. At the very end, he turned his head, looked at us. His lips moved. No sound, but I understood. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. That night, every attacker in the dorm was arrested, and the truth slowly came out. Ben and the others had destroyed his sister. He spent years planning this. Many students from the same city ended up at this university. Tonight, he wanted to catch them all. The other attackers were extremists he met online, used by him. Luckily, Fewer people died than we thought. Many were only tied up. No one knows how he kept those killers from turning it into a full massacre. Days later, the second roommate returned, the one who had gone home. She smiled as she walked in. Thank God you're all okay. I saw the news. I was so worried. The door closed behind her. Quietly, Noyet locked it. I picked up the fruit knife. Didn't answer. Just slowly peeled an apple. Cut a slice. Handed it to her. And smiled. Yeah, luckily we're okay. Bad people always get punished. Even the ones who slip through. About Chen Xiao, you can explain it to the police. Or, do you want us to take you there? I looked at her. Zhou Ting Ting.